Welcome back to Beyond Bourbon. Today, we have a video that we did a very long time ago.
About 6+ months ago.
Probably one of the most popular videos on WhiskeyTube. Thanks to ADHD Whiskey and Reddit. So, two great things. Reddit is awesome, of course, and then ADHD Whiskey.
Legend.
Love his channel.
Legend.
Yeah, and what he's doing, barrel key and everything is awesome. So make sure to go check that out. But now,
we had to redo it.
We had to redo it because we
had like, what,
I don't know,
20 bottles last time?
Yeah, maybe
not even
10x our collection. Like realistically, we probably have 10 times the amount of bottles now.
Our palates have grown. Everything's grown. We've made a couple of short versions of this on our, short forms.
And we've really liked that.
Really like that. Had a couple
you guys
different
like
bottles.
That. And so this is, you only need 5 bottles of whiskey at any given time. You're a cheap mixture, your daily drinker, a pour that you go to often, not something you're drinking daily.
Yes.
We got roasted for that last
Caveat.
Yeah. We do not encourage drinking every day. You're finding that pour, you're impressed your guest, and your celebratory one. First of all, if you're watching this, like and subscribe, but also, after this video is done, let us know which one you think won.
Whose list is better.
Yeah.
And leave your 5 for each occasion, because I want to read what you guys have to say, and maybe we'll do a video talking about what you guys have and seeing if it was good or bad.
Yeah, we'd love that. So let's get into it. Jared, you can go first.
For my daily drinker, again, it doesn't mean we drink it every day. It just means something that would be okay to drink on any day. My favorite bottle, Knob Creek 9. I'm a ride or die fan of this bottle. It's 100 proof deliciousness, 9 years, comes in at under $30. I would crush a bottle anytime, any day. It is a staple on my shelf. I love this product. It beats every blind we've put it in pretty much.
If you've watched almost any other video on this channel, you've probably heard Jared talk about this bottle. Like this is gonna be his first tattoo on his butt cheek, is this bottle right here. Huge fan of it as well. I like it because it's a great complex bourbon, old age statement that comes through at that good price range. There's nothing else in that market. We've heard people say Russell's Tim's is $10 more expensive sometimes. I mean, at best, maybe $7 or $8 more expensive. This still blows it out of the water with the more proof, the more complexity, everything about it. And we are Wild Turkey fans. Yeah, like I wish Russell's was better than this.
Me too.
This is honestly, we can say, one of the best bottom shelf bottles we've ever had.
Of all time.
Yeah. This table drinker one, we're gonna stay with Jim Beam here, is this Old Grandad 114.
Very close competitor.
It is. The proof stands out, and not as much as you would think. We blinded both of these, and they were both really, really good. However, the proof in this is just a little bit more that I really, really enjoy. And it's a very consistent bottle. Every time I come to it, it drinks exactly like I want it to.
Yeah.
It's never changed. It's never, exactly. I know what I'm getting. I know, and honestly, the proof comes through in a good way. A lot of bottom shelf stuff,
too much proof is bad.
Exactly, foolproof is the benchmark foolproof. We talked about this.
The flagship for that bad
is the badness that comes through with it, because it's mostly just ethanol. Not the case here. This is just sweetness. This is a dessert in a bottle for me. From the brownies, like caramel drizzled over it. If you like that quintessential dark note sweetness, you'll love this bottle. I promise you that.
Exactly.
You go with your second pick. We're gonna go cheap mixer. We're not huge mixer fans. A little bit. Side note, we don't really make that many cocktails.
We don't make a lot of cocktails.
We want to get into it. We've talked about it several times. We want to do a video for you guys of cocktails that we have enjoyed. We really just don't go out that much to get cocktails, and we don't drink them at home that much.
Exactly, and to me, when I go somewhere that has a bourbon menu, I get too intimidated by the cocktail list. I'm like, what if I don't like it? I'm gonna spend $14 on it. Not like it. I can spend $14 and get a pour of one of these.
Yeah.
So that's
honestly probably cheaper.
Yeah, $7. I'm with an OG Maker's Mark. This is a weeded product that you'll find anywhere, anytime. You probably find it at every bar, and it probably is used as a mixer in a lot of places. This was in our bottom shelf banger series as these two were, and this won a whole bracket we have for season 2. It stood out to me in a way I don't remember any bourbon standing out. It surprised me more than anything I've ever had. It drinks very complex for its $25 price range, or $20 price range, but the flavor it has is so it's so classic.
And the thing with this too is it exceeds expectations.
It exceeds expectations.
So many people see this and are like, it's not good, it's Makers.
Yeah, I don't want Makers in my drink.
Exactly. It's but if you blind this, I bet people will like it a lot more than they say they do.
Exactly, and it's got the classic bourbon taste. And when you're having a bourbon cocktail, what's better than a classic bourbon?
Yep, correct. That's a good one. I'm gonna go with a mixer that is very common, especially around us, is JTS Brown.
Yep.
This Heaven Hill product, Heaven Hill, Bottle and Bond gods. Like that's all they do. They are, I swear they have signed a deal with the devil to only release some Bottle and Bond stuff.
No one else should make Bottle and Bond because it will get destroyed.
But they do it really well. And this JTS Brown is a perfect example of that. The reason I chose this is I could care less what happens to this bottle.
Yeah.
I know A, I can go out and buy another one tomorrow for $15. And I also B, if I pour this for someone, if I mix a Jack and Coke or bourbon and Coke, if I do a old fashioned, whatever, people are going to be pleased with this bourbon being in it. It stands up a little more, I think, because it has a 100 proofer and it drinks hotter. Something that is not very much appreciated when it's neat, but when it's in a cocktail, I kind of like that little more ethanol note. So I think you can't go wrong here.
So sweet.
It's that's exactly what I was gonna say. It's again,
you don't even need to add simple sugar to it because it's so sweet and it would stand through.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm happy with all 4 of these so far.
So let's say you're coming over to my house. I want to pour you something that you probably never had. I might pour you this. This is Evan Williams 12. 101 proof. This is an export only or distillery only bottle. It's crazy, honestly. Like, you're never gonna find this anywhere. So if I pour this for you or anybody, they're gonna be kind of excited. They're gonna be like, oh, that's cool, I've never had that. And then it's recognizable too. Everybody knows Evan Williams. Everybody loves Evan Williams Bottle and Bond and stuff. How about the 12-year version? It's great. It's got a ton of flavor and oakiness, but it's not overly. There's some that we've had. We tried Wild Turkey 12. And that one was a little over oaky, a little astringent. It was very cherry, but like in the fakest form with oak, and it just didn't work. This one works.
This one I was happy to pay for. The other one I would have been fine coming home with. I would have been fine if it was a pour.
Yeah, 100%.
I wouldn't have wanted to buy a bottle. And also for this one, yes, it's a cool label. Yes, it's a unique thing. The taste backs it up though.
The taste, and it brings the taste.
Yeah, it has to deliver, and it does.
It's so classic Evan Williams, but it's by far like, it's so good. It's so Heaven Hill, it's so good. Yeah. And it definitely like is an elevation from that. Yep. And I think anybody would love a pour of this. And if you haven't had one, come over, I'll pour you one.
Yeah, so that's a great bottle if you guys don't have one. For me, this was a tough one for me because I wanted to do something that I always enjoy and something that was kind of personal to me because like that's my favorite thing for this. That's what you were talking about. Like you like sharing something that A, people don't have, but B, something I like to like kind of expand people's minds.
Yeah.
This one, Evan Williams, you don't know how good it can be until you try this.
Correct.
So for me, I'm gonna go with this Jack Daniel's single barrel proof rye. A, Jack Daniel's gets an absurdly bad rap, and I understand if you've only had Old Number 7.
Old Number 7 is horrible.
Awful. B, I am a Jack Daniel's fanboy. I love the bourbons, I love the ryes, I love the experimental series they have behind these bottles. Everything about it, I am just a huge fan.
Is your Jack Daniel's to my Knob Creek?
Yes, that's exactly what it is. I've never had Jack Daniel's, Old Number 7 excluded, that I'm just not an absolutely massive fan of. This one though is even to another level. A, it's hard to find. I've seen this on one shelf ever. We saw this bourbon hunting last weekend in Louisville. Boo, L's down. And then, but I didn't buy it there because we already had this bottle. I considered buying a backup. That's how good this is. I love pouring this for people. A, because they don't know it's Jack Daniel's. B, you don't know it's a rye. It's so sweet, it's crazy. There's none of that spiciness, none of that green astringency that people don't like in a rye. If you're not a rye drinker, but you're like a high proof bourbon drinker, you will love this bottle.
It's crazy.
And so, especially both of us, we love blinding. So when people come over, we love to blind them with stuff. This is a super fun bottle to do that with. So I love this bottle to impress your guys.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Okay. My Friday night pour, this bottle is gonna be something that I'm gonna keep on rotation. Multiple bottles of this, but I'm not gonna drink it every single night because I don't wanna go through it. It's this thing I'm gonna drink on occasion, but it's an expensive product and maybe a little harder to find. This is Larceny Barrel Proof. Again, it's not super expensive, it's $55, but it's not easy to find.
Correct.
And the batches come out, every 4 months. And I'm super excited to try every single one. I will always buy a bottle of the newest batch and I will try it, compare it with the other batches, but I'm not gonna drink this on any given day because it is expensive. And once your A122 is gone, it's gone.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be hard to find that batch again. It's not just like this, like every single bottle is going to be the same semi thing. So I'm going to be sparingly with drinking it, but I'm also going to always have this on rotation. Larceny Barrel Proof is phenomenal, and it's a very underrated product, I think, especially for that price range. If you find it for $55, you don't have that batch, you've got to get a bottle.
If you even have that batch, I think it's worth.
It's worth the backup.
Yeah. At $55, and that's at Total Wine. At the distillery, it's $65.70,
which is so weird.
Still worth it though. I think, especially if you don't have the batch at that point. My favorite thing about these though is the batches, and you get to blind them, you get to try them.
It's
and
so
they're consistently
cool.
good. I mean, even Celebratory the same way. Yes, there's batches that are godly, like C923. There's batches that are mediocre, like A124. They're all great though, and it's super fun to find the different ones. And it's just like a bourbon hunt within a bourbon hunt. Yes, I'm looking for Celebratory Barrel Proof and Larceny Barrel Proof every time I go bourbon hunting.
100%.
However,
staple.
Another thing on top of that is, yes, I already have A124. I'm looking for B523 when it comes out in May. Like, I just get excited to find. It's like an Easter egg, almost. You know, like a movie.
Exactly.
That's what it
yes.
feels like. So I really look forward to looking for those.
Yeah, and I considered putting Craig Barrel Proof in this list, and it's interchangeable for me. But I thought back, what have I been drinking more often? I've been drinking Larceny more. I don't know why, but for some reason I gravitate towards this bottle more so than the other one, and maybe because it's a little bit more findable for me. But
I think that's the key for me.
Yeah, exactly. So very interchangeable for those two. I know back-to-back Heaven Hill products, but to me, this is a perfect like Friday night on occasion pour. Let's see yours.
With you. For me, I went something that is a different story I already have, something that we have got into the last couple of months and that we have been in absolute love with. And on top of that, it's not just a normal bottle, it is Four Roses Single Barrel Strength.
Oh boy.
I love the recipes. For a bourbon fan, for a whiskey nerd, for a bourbon nerd, whatever you want to call it, this is the bottle for you. From the recipes to the tiers, to the proofs, to the run of the barrels, whatever it is, I love that about this bottle. And not only that, it tastes amazing.
It's so good. They're all so good and
so diverse as well. And I love having several recipes of this to like, hey, yeah, tonight I'm more of an OESO mood. Tonight I'm in an OBSK mood. And so it's so fun to come back to them.
It's so good. We did a blind of all 10 recipes at the same time of the barrel strength ones. One of my favorite videos, yeah. And the results shocked me.
Yeah.
You would think the highest tier would be the best, oldest age would be the best, highest proof would be the best. No. It was an amalgamation of all that created like the one that was our winner. And so it's kind of equivalent to like the batches thing. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to drink all of it all the time because you run out of your recipe.
Yeah.
You want to collect them.
Yeah, that's where I am.
And drink them on occasion.
Yeah, and I think that's what I'm drinking in this video right now, actually.
I'm drinking Larceny.
Because this is something I look forward to pouring. Yes, they can be hard to find. At our Total Wine, they've had them for a couple months. The distillery, we live 30 minutes from, 45 minutes from. You can go get it any day. And, the batch you might not want, but pretty much any time. If you go within like a couple weeks, I know for a lot of people that don't live in Kentucky, that's difficult. But if you have some friends here, just tell them, hey, go check every day for a couple weeks and like give me all the batches. It's worth it. Like when we first started doing talking about doing the blind, I was like, I don't want to go spend $1,000.
It's crazy.
On 10 bottles of 10 different recipes that I don't know if I'm gonna like. Looking back, like I would have been okay with spending that $1,000.
Yeah.
Like if I had the choice between 10 of those or, this bottle or this bottle, like 10 of those any day.
10 bottles
like that's crazy.
Any day.
Yeah, so that's my impressive guess. Final one, Celebratory. Let's see it.
So, in our first video, I did Russell's 13. And
We both selected this one.
Yeah, we both did it at the same time. Still would probably be up there for me. And I've had this for celebratory reasons. Unfortunately, we've had a lot to celebrate recently.
We really haven't.
But my next in line, which I drank on New Year's Day, was Stag Junior, or Stag, as it is called now. I love this product. It's my favorite, besides BTAC, probably Buffalo Trace product out there. Each Taylor's pretty good too. But I love these. You get different batches, so you kind of get into the whole little batch thing. But the amount of flavor that it can be packed in this little bottle, it looks smaller than any other bottle for some reason, but the amount of flavor that can be packed into this is out of this world, and it should be used for the best of reasons. It's expensive, it's hard to find. Some people would die to just get a pour of this, right? Like I'm so lucky to have, you know, tried multiple batches and bottles and stuff, and I don't want to take that for granted. So I will drink this sparingly and for celebratory reasons only, and it is worth it every time. I'm so happy to pour this. I sit back and I'm like, oh, that was a good moment.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. It's hard to beat that bottle at that MSRP, especially, and even secondary.
Yeah.
Like even secondary, that's a good $200 bottle. It's now coming down to like 160, 170, and it's worth that every time for 132 barrel proof product. Like
look at that color.
Yeah, I mean it's good. For me, I'm gonna go.
Stepping it up.
The reason I'm going with this bottle, it's the easiest to find BTAC, first of all.
Yeah, we could have both said WLW.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like, Pappy, or
yeah, whatever it is.
Something hard to find impossible.
It's the easiest to find BTAC. I can find it in almost any local liquor store. It's going to be secondary pricing, if not more secondary. I can always find it in secondary. $350 for this bottle right here is a good deal. And I know that's like something, when we did this video the first time, we would have been pissing ourselves if we were to have this bottle. And to now saying it's a good deal at that price, it's an insane thought. It is though. This is more flavor than you can get almost any whiskey we have in this room.
Yep, it beats this one.
And it's crazy to say that, but there's so much more going on for like a 5-year, 6-year-old rye from, like, it's not good. I also chose this though because we've been getting into ryes a lot more the last few months. And this is like the one.
Yeah,
like this
beats this one.
Yeah, exactly. This is the top of the top. And so as I have had a few things to celebrate, I've came back and poured this a couple times, and I've just really enjoyed it every time. It's been a good pour. It's not gotten worse. This we had expectations for, but it's exceeded them like an insane amount every time we've poured it.
There's something special when something exceeds your expectations multiple times.
Yeah.
That was similar to me with these two products. Like this shocked me completely on that blind. That was my biggest shock of a blind. This was the lowest seed in our bracket and it won the whole thing.
Yeah.
And this one just has won 3 blinds in a row. Like, it's crazy. Same thing with, I think, Handy. We didn't have any crazy expectations. We were like, oh, we really don't like rye as much, like our bourbons. We had that, and it makes this shaking its boots.
It does, especially for its price. You can buy 3 of these, possibly 4 if you're getting a good deal at your local store for one of those.
Yeah.
And that's something I would take any day of the week. So let us know what you guys think. First of all, in the comments again, I think we said at the beginning, let us know your 5 bottles. And second of all, let us know which one you think won. I don't think we can have like 5 more different bottles like in front of us. Like this is, these two, similar-esque, whatever you call them, whatever they are. These 3 over here,
are crazy
like,
different.
Yeah, so different.
So different. And then if you didn't check it out, it's a little bit older video, but go check out our video we did about 6 months ago. We did 5 different bottles each from that video, so completely different as those. And we'll probably just again when we get more bottles, because this is, you know, one of my favorite videos I've found.
Yeah. So let us know what you think about that video too if you go and watch it, because I've not watched it since it came out. Let us know what you think about how much everything's changed, how much we've changed, bottles have changed, etc. So thank you guys for watching, and of course, we'll see you next week. Cheers.